world. Okay, current blood sugar. I'm sitting at 19.5. I don't know, all I've done all day is go high, and higher. I've had my amount from lunch. I've had a couple of massive doses of insulin, or correction figure. Earlier today, just before lunch, they gave me 6.9 units of insulin, 3.15 after lunch, and 7.5. So, this is telling me one thing, that I need to take a manual correction. And what does that mean? It takes me back to the good old days where it meant taking a shot, a syringe of insulin. I'll probably only take about 10 units at the most and bring down my blood sugars and then even it out. But these days I'm going straight up. It starts before lunch, after breakfast, but it keeps going. Today, we're going to discuss glucometer readings, or glucometer blood tests, I think we're calling this. So sit back, grab your cup of tea, coffee, whatever, and we'll get going with our chat. Okay, for years, diabetics have been pricking their fingers to get blood sugars. For me, it started in grade 11, so I'm thinking about 1982. I was starting to do blood sugars, and I didn't really do it for years. It took a couple of years before it kicked in, and that we were doing it 4 times a day, every day. Now, are they on their way out? Let's take a look at this. If you're on multiple injections of insulin, they're not on their way out. I'm sorry to break the news to you. 4 times a day, blood pokes are probably here for a while. Unless you're wanting to pay for a sensor and then have the Dexcom where you can read it all the time. With the sensor nowadays, I'm able to get a reading of what my blood sugar is. And this is quite a good number to have. Not that number in particular. It also tells me what my time in range is. And if you're not, I'm going to put my finger over this for a moment. Sorry. Didn't clear it the way it works. just would sit here. Hi, I'm still here. What it's actually doing, there, that's better, getting rid of the star effect, is it gives me this amount, which allows me to know time and range for the last 24 hours. And then I'm able to go into my CareLink, which is a Medtronic monitoring system, and take a look and say, over the last 2 weeks, my time and range has been X amount. But it all starts with a blood test. For years we did the blood test. Now for people on the pump, pricking your fingers all the time is sort of a thing of the past. You are going to have to redo them quite substantially if your sensor isn't reading correctly. You want to check your blood sugars. For whatever reason your doctor is asking you to. If you're ill and not believing what the sensor is telling you, then you want to make sure you take a look at things. So, always be aware of what your blood sugar is, whether it be this way or have a manual. Have it by doing a manual blood sugar. And if you are doing it by a manual blood sugar, you are going to have to record all the numbers, keeping a log. That's where I kind of faltered. I started for years for doing blood sugars 4 times a day. I did that, but I didn't record it. And it took me a while to start recording. And I still think to this day of me recording the blood sugars were the catalyst to getting better control. Back in my day, it was urine tests and having to record urine tests. And I thought, oh well, when we finally get the glucometer, I won't have to do that anymore. Sorry to disappoint you, but we just changed one record keeping for the other. And ever since this came in, I started to record my blood sugars, but now this does it, and I'm able to know what my readings are and how they were interpreted throughout the day. Hell, I get to know what my average blood sugar is. It helps you take ownership of your diabetes. It took a lot away from the doctors. Unfortunately, in my later life, I've had to give some of the control back to my doctor because I'm so particular in the way my blood sugars respond that I don't want to keep changing insulins left, right, and center. So, our glucometer tests going bye-bye? Not so quickly. And like I said, if you're on manual or you need to check, it's good to have a secondary source. If you don't think your blood sugar is up and down to 18.9, if I didn't think my blood sugar was that high, I would grab my little kit, take out my glucometer, a little dirty, take out my test strip. Oh, sorry. Put it in the right way. Get my lancet device. I'd put a fresh needle in beforehand. Get your blood sample. Put it in. And actually, my blood sugar is 22.4. So I'm actually off the scale. So it's not going to allow me to do that. If I send it over, it's not going to accept it. So now, until my blood sugar comes down, I have to do manually. So I take my pump. Here we go. And if I press down, if I press no, because I'm going to press no because it's not going to accept it. But if I do enter, blood test, type in 22.2, enter and save. It's showing any number over that I can't calibrate. So that means you do your finger pokes 4 times a day or until your blood sugar comes down. So glucometer readings are still going to be there. See, I calibrated, I was able to calibrate at 22.2. But I'm going to have to take my correction. And hopefully maybe around 4 o'clock, my blood sugars will be down low enough. But this day is quite high. Interesting. So, glucometer tests are here to stay. That's the topic for today. Have a great day and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email address is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. All one line. Drop me